Hollywood has a bad habit of rebooting films into bloated, soulless TV disasters. These aren't expansions or creative reimaginings. No, these are empty corporate husks, stretched out over multiple seasons for the sake of content, not storytelling. Look at what they did to The Exorcist. What was once a horrifying masterpiece turned into a forgettable TV series that nobody asked for. Then you have Westworld, which started strong before imploding under its own pretentious nonsense. Even the Continental, the John Wick spin-off, turned out to be a drawn-out, lifeless attempt to stretch what should have been a simple backstory into a full series. Series like these don't honor their source material. They exist only to breed contempt, slowly destroying everything that made the original films great. But some movies shouldn't be touched. They're gems. Films that are remembered because they were self-contained stories that didn't need modern Hollywood's meddling. This is where we see true creative bankruptcy. Not in expanding a film into a series, but in ruining something that was already great. However, there's a difference between ruining a classic and redeeming something that never got its chance. Some films had big ideas, but poor execution, not because they were bad, but because they were limited by their time, budget, or studio meddling. And Screamers, this is one of those films. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're diving into another example of Hollywood's wasted potential. This is just the first entry in an ongoing idea I'm going to expand on. Movies that should have been TV series and could still work if done properly. Maybe even a few ideas sprinkled in that I think would make fantastic TV shows if they got the right treatment. But for now, let's talk about Screamers, a film that had all the right ingredients for an incredible sci-fi horror series, but never got the shot it deserved. For those unfamiliar, Screamers, from 1995, is a criminally overlooked sci-fi horror film based on Philip K. Dick's short story Second Variety. It takes place on a war-torn planet where two opposing factions are fighting a never-ending corporate war. To gain an edge, one side developed autonomous killing machines, Screamers, which were originally designed to seek out and eliminate enemy combatants. And of course, things go horribly wrong. The Screamers become self-replicating, evolving beyond their programming and learning how to disguise themselves as human. Suddenly, the war isn't about corporations fighting for resources anymore. It's about survival against an enemy that can think, adapt, and hide in plain sight. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's because The Thing and the Terminator had a terrifying baby, and its name was Screamers. So why did this never become a TV series? A Screamers series would have to be dark, claustrophobic and psychological, blending survival horror, war drama, and cyberpunk themes. Imagine something like The Thing for the paranoia and body horror, Battlestar Galactica for the military tension and survival, Black Mirror for the psychological horror and AI themes. Every episode could focus on a new outpost or squad of survivors, slowly realizing that the Screamers are evolving beyond anything they ever expected. The big question would always be, who is human and who is a machine? Because that's the beauty of Screamers. It's not just about killer robots. It's about the breakdown of trust and the fear that the person next to you might not be what they seem. Potential story arcs could include a military research team trying to shut down a Screamer factory only to realize they've already lost control. A rogue faction trying to weaponize the Screamers for their own gain. Screamers learning to infiltrate Earth, spreading beyond the war-torn planet. A lone survivor making it back home, only for the government to question if they're actually human. This could be a tense, paranoia-driven horror thriller where nobody can trust each other and every interaction could be their last mistake. If there's one thing Screamers got right, it was atmosphere and paranoia. A TV series could lean into that tension, expanding the world without ruining what made the original idea great. But let's be honest, Hollywood would probably screw it up. They'd either turn it into an action-heavy Terminator knockoff or make it a slow, boring, overly philosophical mess, instead of embracing the sheer terror of fighting an enemy that can wear your face. Done right, Screamers could be one of the best sci-fi horror TV series of all time. Done wrong, it'd be another forgettable Sci-Fi Channel disaster. Either way, we'll probably never get it because Hollywood is too busy rebooting Harry Potter instead of looking at actual great sci-fi concepts. But this is just the start, because there are a lot of films out there that could have been legendary series, and I'm going to keep expanding on this idea. Some movies should stay untouched, but others, they deserve a second shot. And along the way, maybe I'll throw in a few of my own picks, movies that were successful, but would work far better as a TV series than yet another forgettable Netflix original. Stay tuned, because Screamers is just the beginning. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.